Hey y'all, this is your girl Jazz, and I'm coming to you guys with the tag video. I wasn't tagged to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is the my BBW Story Tag. I've seen quite a few people do this one. Excuse me. It's like 6 o'clock, so I don't know why I'm yawning. I just yawn to be yawning. I won't even want to sleep or won't be sleepy, and I'll still yawn, like, for no reason. But anyway, let me see. My BBW story starts when I was like 8 or 9. That's when I really started putting on weight. When I was born, I was above average, but I wasn't fat. I was like 8 pounds 6 ounces, but I was 21 and a half. I think 21 and a half inches, almost 22 inches. So I was a long baby. So that's where a few of my pounds came from. Plus I had a huge head, so my head took up most of my weight, even like it does today. I have a big head. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. When I was younger, I was skinny. I was sickly, though. I was very, very sickly as a child. Always sick. Couldn't keep food down, so I didn't eat a lot because I wasn't an eater. I'd eat like a couple of forks full of food and be stuffed to the brim. Like, I couldn't eat another thing. And yeah, that's probably why I was always sick, because I wasn't getting any nutrition either. So that being said, yeah, I was skinny and sickly as a child. Like, as a younger child, like from 3 to like 7. When I turned 6, my mom got married to my, well, actually when I was 5 going on 6, my mom got married to my now ex-stepdad. Thank God, hallelujah, Jesus. Oh, for the ex part, not the marriage part, of course. And his mother is like the captain of the clean plate club, and the only way you were allowed to leave the table is if you ate all your food. And she would make me a normal child size plate. I didn't eat what a normal child ate. I ate like a fourth of what a normal child ate, probably even less than that. So I was like, what? This is a lot of food. And in my house, the house that I was brought up in, you didn't have to eat all your food to leave the table. Like, you could eat as much as you wanted, and when you were done, you were done. Like, you didn't have to eat everything on your plate. So that's what I was accustomed to. So I meet this woman, and she's trying to make me eat everything on my plate. I'm like, what the crap? So at first I would eat it all, and I'd get sick and just throw it all back up. So but after a while I got accustomed to it. So I would eat my whole entire plate, and then I started getting that. Then I got that mentality in my head that I always have to finish everything that's on my plate. Even to this day, every now and then I'll be full and see what's on my plate and be like, man, I gotta finish this because it's on my plate and I don't want to waste it. But no, if I'm full, I'm full. I don't have to eat anymore. So I got that mentality, started having to finish my whole entire plate, and then pretty soon after that, just one plate wasn't enough. I was going back for seconds and so on and so forth. When I was in school, I really didn't get teased or made fun of, not to my recollection. I can't remember any instances where the kids were just extremely cruel to me for me being fat. I never really got made fun of, honestly. I think it's because I started out skinny with these kids, and then over time I got fat. It wasn't like I started out, I had always been fat. No, I started out skinny, and they saw me progress into this round, plump little girl. I think another thing that helped was the fact that I had boobs. I'd always had boobs since like I was in the 2nd grade. That's when I started developing my breasts. And so because of that, all the other girls were flat-chested. So the little boys would try to want to be my friend because I had boobs, and all the other girls were flat-chested. So that kind of helped as far as them not tease me and not make fun of me. Nobody ever made fun of my breasts either. Like, nobody ever said anything to me about them, except for the teachers. Because I remember one day, I think it was in the 3rd grade, And I went to school. I only had on an undershirt. I forgot to put on my bra or whatever. So I was just getting accustomed to having to put on a bra every day. And so the teacher called my mama and told her that I couldn't come to school just like that. I had to wear a bra. So that was the only thing, and that was in the 3rd grade. So ever since then, I had to wear bras every day. So sad. Well, at least if I go out in public. Yeah. At least a sports bra anyway. But anywho, that's beside the point. So yeah, 3rd grade, 4th grade, nobody really made fun of me. 5th grade, I went to a new school. I went to a charter school because we moved out of my school district. So I went to a charter school because my mom did not like the school that I was zoned to go to. And if you don't know what a charter school is, basically it's a state-funded private school. So yeah, but oh my gosh, I hated that school. Actually, I hated my teacher. I had a male teacher, and at that time I was like anti-men. I hated men. Boys I didn't have a problem with, but men, I hated men, primarily because of what was going on at home with my stepdad and all that other stuff. I was like, I don't like men. So anytime a man would try to tell me what to do, I would always have a flippant attitude with them, and I would really just not want to listen. So I was always getting in trouble in the 5th grade. It has nothing to do with me being fat. So I go to the nurse one day because the nurse is calling everybody down to the office, to the nurse's office. And I go to the nurse, and she tells us to get on the scale, and she weighs us. And I'm like, okay, why is she weighing us? I weighed 183 pounds, and I was 5'2". I was 5'2", 183 in the 5th grade. I remember my weight because when I came into the classroom, everybody was like, how much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? Asking everybody this. And I was like, 153. Because everybody else weighed like 80, 90 pounds, 110 at the most. So for me to say 153, I was already bigger than them. So they don't really know what 183 looks like and what 153 looks like because everybody else is like 90 pounds. So the nurse has students working our files. Like a week later, she has students working our files. And the girl who's working my file happens to be in my class, and her name was Amanda. And she saw my weight, and she was like, oh my gosh. So she came back to the classroom, and she was like, everybody, Jasmine lied to us. She doesn't weigh 153. She weighs 183. And everybody looked at me like, oh my gosh. But they never made fun of me about it. They never really said anything to me about it. It was just like I could just see in their faces, they were like, shit, that's fat as hell. Like, for real, 183, you're fat as hell. That's almost 200 pounds. I could just see it in their faces, but they never really made fun of me about it. They would just look at me like, damn, she's big. But they never said anything. And once again, I think it has something to do with the fact that everybody was afraid of me and intimidated by me because I had such a smart, flippant mouth, y'all. When I tell y'all, if I got into an argument, I wasn't getting into an argument just for the fun of it. I was getting into an argument to hurt your feelings. I'm not lying. Like, I would hit below the belt purposely. First words out of my mouth were something horrible, and that would be the end of the discussion. And so nobody ever wanted to deal with that, so nobody ever said anything to me. So that was the 5th grade. 6th grade, I get back to my old school zone, so I'm back with the old people that I went to school with. So it's all gravy. Everybody knows me. We're all cool, whatever. Nobody ever makes fun of me. I still have the biggest chest in the whole school, well, in the whole 6th grade. So nobody's really, you know, trying to trip or whatnot. I only had one girl try to step to me in the 6th grade, but it had nothing to do with my weight. She just wanted to be mean, and she called me a bitch, so I'd have to beat her up. Because nobody called me a bitch and got away with it. No, darling. Especially not to my face. But she was bold. I commend her for that. Because most people call me a bitch behind my back. But she called me a bitch to my face. And yeah, I commended her for that. 7th grade, I was very self-conscious. My skin started breaking out really, really bad. So I was self-conscious about that. Everybody else started developing. So I was no longer the girl with the boobs. Because everybody had boobs. Yeah, I remember on rainy days we used to have to walk down the hallway. Everybody would be sitting on the floor, and you have to walk down this long hallway. It felt like it was 3 miles long, but it really wasn't that long. to go sit down on rainy days, because on rainy days everybody sits out. Everybody is outside. I mean, on non-rainy days everybody's outside chilling or whatever until it's time for school to start. But on rainy days we have to sit on the inside. So I remember going to breakfast. I hate breakfast. Even to this day I hate breakfast. I hate eating breakfast at breakfast time. Like, I'll eat breakfast for lunch or breakfast for dinner, but eating breakfast at breakfast time, I don't like eating it early in the morning. It's just something about it that just turns me off. So, I used to go eat breakfast just for the hell of it, just so that I wouldn't have to walk down that long hallway, and have people stare at me, because they just skinny, fat, short, tall, black, white, Mexican, Chinese, Asian, Oriental, whatever. No matter what you were, everybody stared at you when you walked down the hallway. And so, yeah. That was 7th grade. 8th grade, only one person tried to step to me, but she was fat, and I was like, why are you stepping to me, calling me fat when you're fatter than I am? Like, really not understanding. By 8th grade, I was a good, like, 230-ish, 225, 230, and so, yeah, because I was like in a size 16, a 14, 16, in the 8th grade. So, how tall was I? I was like 5'6", 5'8", I'm like 5'6 and a half, 5'7", somewhere in there. So, yeah, people stepped to me like it was nothing, and I was like, no, it's not going to happen. So, of course, I had to hurt her feelings, because you don't call me fat and get away with it either. She called me fat, and I told her that's why your daddy doesn't love you anymore. That's why your daddy left you and your mama for this little girl, for some woman, because rumor around school was that her daddy had left them. So, yeah, that's what I told her, and she was really sad, and I really hurt her feelings. She went to the principal's office and told on me, and I had to write her a letter apologizing, but I really didn't give a crap, because she shouldn't have called me fat. That was that. 9th grade, I moved to Alabama. Really didn't, nobody made fun of me here. In Alabama's like the fattest state in the United States, so everybody's big for the most part. And if they're not big, they're thick or overweight or whatever, so nobody made fun of me. 9th through 12th grade, didn't have any issues. Really didn't have a boyfriend or anything 9th through 12th grade. Just different boys that I would talk to or whatever, that I talk on the phone to, but really no actual boyfriends. Got to college, had fun, went from 260 to 230 my freshman year from not eating, and not eating because of, one, I didn't have money to eat a lot of times, or I just wasn't hungry because I was too busy running around being fast. Not really being fast, like, you know, freaky fast, just being grown. Well, thinking I was grown, doing what I thought grown people did, but not the freaky stuff. Not all the time. Some of the time, but not all the time. So, yeah, that was my freshman year. Sophomore year, I only spent half my sophomore year there. And, it was straight. Now, I'm still big, as you guys can see. I'm about 225-ish, something like that. In between 225 and 230. I was 230, then I went to New York, lost a couple of pounds, went down to 220, and then last time I got on the scale, I was 225. I gained like 5 pounds since I've been home, and I've only been home for like a month. So yeah, not good at all. So yeah, y'all, that's pretty much my BBW story. Not really much to tell. Okay, obviously it was if I talked for almost 15 minutes. But, yeah, anybody who wants to do this tag, you're more than welcome to do this tag. Excuse me, thank you to all my old subscribers, my new subscribers, and everybody in between. And until next time, bye, y'all.